Hey, how's it going? Mr. Deadman of Horror Talk Radio. Let's talk about extreme horror movies. I'm going to list 10 extreme horror movies, not in any particular order, except for the last one. That one has to be the most extreme horror movie ever made, and we'll get into that. First, what is the appeal of an extreme horror movie? You know what I'm talking about. The ones with the extreme gore, the ones that people will describe as torture porn, the ones for the torture and violence, graphic violence for the sake of entertainment. Some people do not like that. They want a solid story in their horror movie, which is weird. I mean, let's be honest. Horror is not really the genre for solid stories. Come on. But you know, they want a story in their horror, I guess, and they want the violence to make sense or not be too extreme. Okay. But to me, there's nothing wrong with extreme violence. Having extreme violence, there's people who's entertained by that. But what is the entertainment value? Is it artistic? Is it artistic expression? Is it people getting off to smut? Is it people a bunch of bloody psychopaths wanting to see someone being dismembered and whatever, beheaded? Maybe not. It's various things. People they like to see things that challenge them, that shatter their sense of safety. There's a reason why people want to see movies like Cannibal Holocaust or The Human Centipede. There's an appeal to people that are intrigued by the unknown. They have this curiosity. What is this thing? And they hear about it. And they're like, oh, that sounds abhorrent. That sounds crazy. That sounds extreme. That sounds insane. Yet they're drawn to it. They're drawn to it. It is what it is. Anyway, let me go ahead and list my 10 on my list here. Not necessarily a top 10 list, but except for the last one. Right away, I guess I'll go ahead and mention Saw and Hostel together. I'll include them both because while they are an example of an extreme horror, which you're going to get from people who are like into mainstream horror movies, they're going to mention Saw and Hostel. But, you know, those movies have become like franchises and I don't know, I get it. There's a lot of intense gore and stuff, and there's some interesting scenes, but as the series, as the franchise generates more and more, it's like there's no heart and soul in it. It's just fast food smut. And maybe I'm coming off pretentious here or whatever, but to me, it just seems okay. I'd rather get like the more, I guess, homemade stuff. I guess, you know what I'm trying to say. What I'm saying is Saw and Hostel seem too corporate is what I'm getting at. Like a board of directors are gathering around being like, okay, what sort of intense scenes do we have in this next Saw or this next Hostel? Hostel not so much, but Saw most definitely. Okay, so I'll include them together. Now, which one is better though? Hostel or Saw? Like which franchise do you think is better? I guess right off the bat, getting into the list here, number 10, we'll do Cannibal Holocaust. Cannibal Holocaust. Everyone knows about this film. You probably have already known about this film. If not, I'm surprised. I'm really surprised. Italian horror film. When it came out, a huge controversy because the violence and the graphic violence, redundant. Graphic violence was so intense that law enforcement thought it was believable. Like, the authorities thought that the actors had actually died in the making of this film. They arrested the director. They arrested him. They investigated, found out nothing happened, found out, you know, that they're fine. The actors weren't harmed, but the animals were. A lot of vegans do not like this movie because the animals were harmed in the making of this film. Some of them were killed even. Now, I will say, with this film, of course, you'll notice, if you know this, if you've seen before, you know they worked with a local tribe in the area, and the animals that were harmed and were killed, they were given to the local tribe. That's apparently what the filmmaker said. Whether or not that's true or not, I don't know. But it seems like they would have some sort of working relationship, the filmmakers and the native tribe, the natives in that area. And I don't think money is going to be the thing they would want. Hey, get some food too? Sure. I'm sure some vegans may still have some problem with that. But different cultures, right? All right, number 9, Visitor Q. Now, Takashi Miike, this director you probably know about. In fact, I'm going to mention him again on this list. But if you want to see a movie that's about that explores a family of deep, dark, incestuous crap, like that's what this is. Dude, this movie is so extreme. There is a scene. Not only is it necrophilia, it's incestuous necrophilia. Not only is it incestuous necrophilia, the dad is going. The dad is violating her with the help of shit, lubing her orifice. It's nasty. It is super freaking nasty. And dude, hey, if it's your thing, this one, I gotta be honest with you, this was hard to get through. This one was hard to get through. And as nasty as that was, another movie that was really hard to get through was I Spit on Your Grave. I watched this one years ago with my wife, who was my fiance then. We were just looking for a movie to watch. Oh, that killed the mood entirely. We had some dinner, we were going to eat and watch a movie at the house. Kill the freaking mood. Horrible. I Spit on Your Grave is... I do recommend people watch this movie. Trigger warning, I guess, whatever. There's sexual assault in it. There's very intense rape scenes in this movie. Like, repeatedly, multiple times. And very long and drawn out. Like, you see everything. They want you to see everything. Not to get off to it, but to see it. To force you, grab you by your head, by the back of your head, and direct you to the screen. You will see this. You'll see how horrible this is. You will see what's going on here. How it makes you feel is on you. That's on you, and you can talk to your therapist about that. I want you to see it. And then afterwards, I will say, for people who have a hard time with that, I will say this. The movie does... There's a saving grace, I guess, if you will. Where the woman gets her revenge. That's not bad. And it makes those deaths well deserved. But very hard to get through. Very hard to get through. This one was a little bit easier to get through. Martyrs. Though still really graphic. Really intense stuff. If you've not seen this French-Canadian film, I highly do recommend this. It is not as nasty as Visitor Q. Not as nasty. In the incestuous necrophilia part. But it is very bloody, very gory. Deals with psychological horror, psychological trauma, and suicide. Okay? Pretty intense stuff. Oh, and one of the girls is skinned alive over and over again. So, there's that. Let's see, what number am I on here? I'm doing bad here. Let's see. Number 6. Necromantic. You probably not have heard of this movie. That's okay. It's banned in a lot of places. It's banned almost everywhere. It is a movie where a guy brings home a corpse for him and his wife to play with. Why did someone just bring him on a corpse? How does that happen? It's a German film, and one of the main characters, he picks up dead animals off the road, and he found a human remains, a body, and he brought it home for him and his wife to play with. It turns out his wife likes to play with it a little too much, even more than the husband. Where in the movie, she leaves the husband for the dead body and continuously getting off to it, in love with it, and pretty graphic stuff, pretty gross stuff. There's a scene where she's bathing in blood. There's also real animals do get harmed in the film of this, in the filming of this. Animals were harmed. So pretty extreme, pretty nasty, but not in. I don't know. I would say if you're curious, watch it, but it's going to be like a one-time thing. It's going to be a one-time thing. Let's see. Number 5 on this list. This one I highly recommend. Audition. Also by Mikey. Butchering his name here. Mikey Takashi. Okay. Wow. Anyway, if you've not seen this one, I highly do recommend it. It might start off as, okay, when you first watch it, it might seem like it's like a drama / comedy, depending on how you look at it. A widowed man, okay, he's looking for some more love. He needs a replacement. He lost his wife. His wife died to illness, and he's lonely. So he does a casting call for a fake radio gig. He does an audition. Through that, he's screening for his future fiance. Okay, greasy, grimy, not the ethical way to do it. But hey, there's been romantic comedies that were the other way around, where it's the woman doing the casting call, and hey, it was okay, and it was a romance film, you know? So it depends on how you look at it, whatever. Now, the second half of this film is completely different. See, the woman that he screens, the woman he starts dating and get involved with, he doesn't really explore her past, really, because he sees her as a stand-in for his wife, his deceased wife. And there's guilt from moving on, I think. Anyway, the body horror you see in this film is some pretty gross stuff. So it comes at you in like little bits. And when it comes at you, though, it's imagery that sticks with you. Like there's a guy in a bag, he's all dismembered. He has to eat regurgitated food that this woman will eat and vomit into a bowl, and the guy has to eat out of it like a dog. And I say dismembered, like he has no fingers. He has like one finger or whatever. It's pretty gross stuff. There's a scene at the end, towards the end, where the girl you see there is using acupuncture needles and whatever on the guy's eye. It's the one scene. I'm not giving anything away. I mean, the movie, it gives it away from the cover, okay, from the very cover. So no spoiler, alert there. Not spoiling anything. But it's also the one scene that everyone talks about when they talk about this movie, and I will say, it's really good stuff. I can handle blood, I can handle gore, but there's certain things like acupuncture needles to the eye. There's something small like that. That's hard to stomach. Maybe I'm the only one. Am I the only one? Maybe. All right, next we have the human centipede. The human centipede? What? This nasty thing? Yeah. Pretty gross stuff. Everyone knows about this film. But if we're extreme horror, for an extreme horror movie, it's gonna be on there. It's really, oh god. I mean, trying to stomach and get through this movie is pretty hard, man. Like, you have people's faces sewn onto asses, and the guy's defecating, and it's going into the woman's mouth. That's hard to sit through. This is a hard movie to watch. It really is. So it has to be on the list, and somewhere high, because, I mean, it's pretty extreme. It's more extreme than Audition is. Definitely. Let's see. And then there's Atraz. Now this, if you ever wanted to see a cartel torture video, that's what this movie is. Atraz is like, okay, Saw and Hostel, that's cute. Let me show you how the cartels really do that stuff. And the movie looks pretty realistic. Like the makeup and the props or whatever, they look spot on, man. The movie starts off with there's a car wreck, and that's bloody stuff, sure. But let's move on to where the heart of the matter of this movie comes in. When the detective finds a video and he starts watching it, you see like these cartel guys are stalking this woman, this prostitute. All right, and now she's in a chair wrapped around a duct tape. She can't get out. They're beating her up. Turns out, not just a prostitute, but a transsexual prostitute. They're beating her up. She wakes up, gets beaten some more, and we're talking about some raw, bloody stuff. Like, it is graphic. The woman defecates. The shit's all over the place. The shit's smeared in her face, and she's forced to eat it. It's nasty stuff, man. Then you have electrocutions going on. You got people who feet are in water being electrocuted. That's done by the police to get intel. So it is extremely gritty, extremely grimy. There's a scene where a guy he got involved with this prostitute, and he's wrapped saran wrap around his face and her face for some reason. I don't understand. Trying to suffocate himself and her. He starts beating her over the head with a camera that doesn't break. Let's see. Then he stabs her in the vagina, tries, has sex with her, and is not done. Dude, like I said, this is like the cartel Saw and Hostel were like, oh, that's cute. We got our own version. We'll show you how it's really done. Okay. Hey, if you want extreme, that's pretty extreme. However, the number one on this list, and this one is up here because it is the one that it is, I think, the most extreme horror movie, if you want to call it horror, ever made. And I think you know what I'm going to reference here. I think you know what I'm going to talk about. That is a Serbian film. If you've never seen it, you might not want to. Okay, if you are curious and you start watching it, you're gonna be fooled, because the movie does have pretty good cinematography. The movie does look nice in the beginning. It looks like it's gonna be an okay movie, but you're fooled. You're deceived. You see, the movie starts off with a kid who finds his dad's porn tape. His dad is a porn star. He used to be a porn star, retired porn star. And he finds a tape where his dad was on receiving a blowjob. So the dad and the mom now have to explain to the son the birds and the bees sort of thing, and have to explain some stuff to him. And this kid's young, really young. The man gets roped back into the porn life, but it's not what he thinks it is. It's more extreme, a lot more extreme than he ever thought it was going to be. It starts off where he's receiving fellatio in front of what looks like to be underage girls, and then it starts involving underage girls directly. Then it starts involving oh my God, it's just, there's a video of a woman who's pregnant, who gives birth, and that baby is right away, I'm not going to tell you. You use your imagination, okay, of what's going on here if you really want, okay? And what makes it worse is that the mom who gave birth is smiling while it's happening, as if she's happy that it's happening. But that's actually the first act of the movie, just about. I mean, when they say Serbian Film is like one of the worst films ever made, like as far as being extreme goes, they're not lying. Because then you get into his family gets involved directly, very much directly. I'll just. I'm feeling disturbed talking about this. I'm feeling disturbed talking about this one particular film. This one, the Serbian Film, too extreme even for my taste. I can't watch this film and enjoy it. I understand why it was made. I understand its purpose. It's not to get you off to that stuff. It's to make you see that stuff. To remind you that some nasty, horrible stuff happens all the freaking time. While you live a simple life, maybe. While you drink your Starbucks and you're shopping through Target or whatever. Or you're on Amazon looking for the next whatever. Meanwhile, there's families that are being absolutely destroyed. There's people engaging in very nasty acts. Filming those nasty acts. Distributing those nasty acts. And like it to see that, it really puts things in perspective of how fortunate you are. But it's a system shock for sure. Anyway, here's my list of 10 extreme horror films, with the number one being, like I said, Serbian Film. Now, if you would, the other films were not in any particular order. Now, if you would say, hey, replace this film with this one or whatever, if you have another extreme horror movie, very extreme, let me know in the comment section down below. And, we'll have some discussions in the comments. So it should be pretty fun. Anyway, you guys, ladies, take it easy and have a good one.